Welcome to this week's edition of the Contact Center World Industry Roundup, presented by Raj Wadhwani.
In this week's edition, the latest regional industry news, upcoming events. We share some great tips for your contact center. Hello and welcome. Here is the latest from around the region and a brief summary of world news, starting with the regional news for your area. In the United States of America, in Trenton, New Jersey, a bill that would require facilities that handle 911 calls to accept emergency text messages was approved by the State Assembly Telecommunications and Utilities Committee this week. In Carolina Forest, South Carolina, StarTech is bringing more than 600 jobs to a new contact center. The firm has an incentive to ramp up hiring. It's rumoured to have received $750,000 when 400 workers have been hired. Not a bad incentive. The Communications Workers of America has won a vote to represent American Airlines customer service and gate agents. Progressive, an American insurance company, plans to fill nearly 1,000 jobs across the country by the end of this year. Xerox Corporation is adding 400 full-time jobs and another 800 full-time seasonal positions at its call center operation in Lexington, Kentucky. Cox Communications, an American cable and telecommunications provider, is looking to hire 150 at its expanded Phoenix call centers. A St. Louis firm has closed on a Birmingham, Alabama property it says will be the home of a new T-Mobile contact center. In Alberta, Canada, the Bow Valley may soon have an after-hours social services phone line to help those seeking help for themselves or others outside of regular office hours. In Jamaica, faced with reduced enrolment, Monique Colleague in St. Anne, Jamaica, has broadened its curriculum to include training in call center operations, with a likelihood of job placement immediately upon completion. The number of people employed in the industry is set to double over the next 5 years. In Costa Rica, a dual United States Costa Rican citizen pleaded guilty for his role in a $1.88 million sweepstakes fraud scheme that defrauded hundreds of elderly Americans. And now for a summary of headlines from around the world, all of which you can find on our website, starting with news from Europe, Middle East and Africa. In the UK, following the collapse of Phones for You, 100 employees are scrambling for jobs. Wiltshire Police opens a new call centre. Llanelli call centre ordered to stop sending spam. INEC in Nigeria advises public to use its citizen contact centre. Emirates Transport unifies customer service numbers. And a call centre dealing with missing South Africans in Nigeria after a building collapse has been inundated with calls. Now on to news from the Asia Pacific region. In Australia, Victoria's 000 call centre fails to hit dispatch targets. Job losses feared as Telstra takes over call centres. An app to call an ambulance is launched. Men's Helpline gets 25,000 calls over 4 months. Westpac New Zealand chats up customers with consistency. In the Philippines, Maersk Group call centre leases office space. Kiwi Bank to open contact centre in Hastings, New Zealand. And don't forget, the 2015 Top Ranking Performer Awards are now open. Regarded by many as the Olympics of the contact centre world, this is your chance to showcase your best practices and be recognised as truly world class. This week's tips. The past week we have published the following tips. Tracking feedback. Benchmark versus your best agents. Track resolution times. Break monotony, rotate your staff. Team leaders. Performance measures for other departments. Educate to accumulate. This week's tip is one that I wrote in my blog this morning. It's all about testing when you're using technology. It's very easy for organisations to roll out technology and not fully understand it. And this came to light last night when we witnessed a fiasco. That's how I'd describe it in New Brunswick. It was the New Brunswick voting for a new premier. And I can't believe how badly managed it was and how technology was blamed. It's not the technology, it's the way that it was actually used and the processes involved. So please read my tip under my blog section. We can all learn something from that. Upcoming industry events. Taking place later this month is the Asia Pacific Outsourcing Summit in Singapore. Then in November, our very own Global Best Practice Conference, a must-attend event for anyone who is looking for best practices in the contact center world. It's full of ideas. You get a chance to network with the best from the world. Join us and around 200 of the industry's best, the people who run centers, and you can learn new ideas for your center for 2015. Details on our website. And if you're planning for 2015, don't forget we've already announced dates for our upcoming European and American events. I'll also be over in Singapore early October to finalise dates for our Asia Pacific event. This week we'd also like to welcome the following new members. Also next week I will be live on location in Istanbul, Turkey for the industry roundup. So as the Turkish would say, görüşmek üzere or see you soon. Goodbye.